Clean up on aisle 5.
Oof, this is so bad. The poop has gone up into the ceiling fan and it's splattered everywhere. It's gone everywhere. Everyone's full of poop. Sometimes I wish I had chosen to make this a mature audience channel. Something terrible happened tonight to the Montreal Canadiens. The aggressor, the Tampa Bay Lightning. They came into the Montreal Canadiens barn and they spread poop everywhere. Let's talk about it.
Like poop through a diarrhea-infected goose.
Fair warning, just a heads up, I'm not going to do a full recap tonight. My daughter is actually having trouble sleeping, so I expect her to be up again soon. So we're going to shoot through this really quick. I'm not even going to do the formation de départ. I know, but we have more important things to talk about, and wait till the end of the video for that to be unveiled. So things aren't going well, but I still want to thank you for your support. That last game against the Blues was pretty bad. This one tops it, but you still came to my video to listen to my takes about the game. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that a lot. I read your comments. Thank you so much for commenting. Really appreciate that as well. And it's been tough. It's tough making this video right now. Like I said, my daughter's not sleeping well. I just kind of want to go to bed so I can get some good sleep tonight, but I feel like I'd be letting you guys down who want to watch these videos. This is a community where we're trying to all be there for each other, I guess. That sounds corny. Maybe that's a little bit too far, but there is really exciting news and I want to get that to you. If you're not already part of the community, please consider subscribing. I'd love to have you as part of the community. And don't forget to hit the like button and hype the video if you have a mobile device. So pretty much the same lineup as last game, except Montembeault is backing up Dobesh. He's returned from being sick. Now, because of the events of this game, I wonder how sick he was or what type of sickness he called in with. It's probably not nice to think that way. Rude, bad etiquette. Someone calls in sick, you take it for what it is. They're sick. But was he sick malade? Sick malade peut pas venir au téléphone? So let's ease ourselves into this. They take a face-off, and right off of face-off, Gallagher and Gergensen are mixing it up. What kind of game is this going to be? Is it going to be chippy? Is that what they wanted? Is there going to be tempo in this game? And Montreal actually starts the game off pretty well. They come out strong. Radish saves an open net goal from Slavkovsky and Suzuki. And then not long after, Demidov connects with Kapanen for a good chance in front. Montreal begins piling on the shots early, and Tampa Bay is having a hard time getting out of their zone. But when they finally do get out of their zone,
Davidson jumps on the ice. He's into the forecheck, flipped to center though, and Braden points away. Point, he's got a step, shoots.
1-0 Point. This is so disappointing. Such weak coverage here by Struble. It allows Point to go in all alone against Dobesh, and Point puts it far side easily. Now on the power play, Demidov seems to have found Caufield in a dangerous spot, but Caufield sends the shot into the stratosphere. And now with time dying down on the power play, Demidov sends a lazy pass to Dobson, who does not realize how vital it is to stop this from leaving the zone. And check this out.
Dobson, look out as Holmberg's out of the box. Foot race, Pontus Holmberg, and score!
Holmberg gets jailbroken. He's all alone on Dobesh for the second goal of the game. Disgusting. Thinking this can't possibly get any worse. They really need to break the chain here and get a goal.
Comes up top, Trozier, thought about it. One-timer, Kucherov, score!
That's not going to happen. Kucherov makes it 3-0 in the first period. They completely fell apart here. Look at them lining up together like they're about to block a soccer penalty shot. This is embarrassing. Could Dobesh have stopped a couple of those shots? Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Those are difficult shots to block. Those are a miracle shot. You want your goaltender to block, one of those. If they do, you call it what it is. He saved us from a goal. But you shouldn't blame him for not making those miracle saves. That being said, they come back from the second period. Montembeault's in the net. Second period, they play a solid game. 15 shots, Tampa Bay manages 4. But somehow, they both get a goal. So that doesn't really solve anything. It doesn't put Montreal in a better spot. I might as well show the only Canadiens goal of the entire game. Have a look.
Demidov at the line. Across Suzuki, score! Rocket in as Nixon.
Kapanen here making it 4-1. The second period was a lot stronger for the Habs. But in the end, it was 6-1 for Tampa. Montembeault did not play a great game. He let in an absolute beach ball. One of the goals, I couldn't even be mad. It was like the nicest shot I've ever seen. So a garbage game, and there weren't a lot of standouts. In fact, let me take a look at the stats to see if anybody kind of sticks out to me on the point sheet. Kapanen, of course, got a goal. Demidov with an assist, as well as Suzuki. None of those guys had a good game, though. Matheson was -3 on the night, although I wouldn't say he was a major problem on defense. Noah Dobson, however, did not have a very good night. Demidov was also -3. I hate to complain about 19-year-old Demidov, who has some extremely elite skills, but his passing and turnovers also had a giveaway. Nick Suzuki, 3 giveaways. He's not himself, man. I will say Texier played a pretty solid game. Slavkovsky, again, played a pretty solid game. Xhekaj played well tonight. He had 5 hits tonight. Got dinged with a couple of penalties. One of the penalties, a high sticking penalty. You couldn't find the high stick. And this was already when Tampa had gone up like 5-1 or something to that effect. So Tampa definitely didn't need the help there. That was a rough one. But at that point, do you complain about penalties? It's like rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. All right, now for the big news. No, actually, wait. I'm sorry. I don't mean to bait you, but I'm trying to create a timeline of events here. And what happened first was the post-game media availability. Suzuki, Caufield, Carrier, and Martin St. Louis answered questions about the game. Suzuki seemed pretty frustrated. Caufield gave mostly pretty sober, boring answers. And Carrier made no excuses. He said that, they've got to be better. When it got to Martin St. Louis, Arpen Basu asked a good question. What do you do to avoid the guys from getting deflated? And I think that's a good question, because there are so many moments recently where they come out strong, they look like they're good, and their opponents counterpunch and they are successful. Like I'd truly be interested going back, somebody counting all the open net opportunities that the Montreal Canadiens had, where they just plain missed the net or shot directly on the goaltender, or the only part of the net where you're not getting a goal, versus their opponent. How many of those opportunities that they got? Like there's definitely a component of unluckiness or not getting the right bounces. But I thought that Martin St. Louis' response was good. I really liked what he said, and I want you to have a listen.
I think it starts with the individual, I mean, they got to do the job no matter what, The habits to me are is an all the time thing. You can't just do things right when you feel like it, And I felt for the most part tonight, like we tried to, you look at the second period, and I felt like we tried to do things right and didn't give up much and got a lot of chances, and I think being deflated is just it's a feeling that comes, and you got to brush it off pretty quick. You got to just go work on your habits. To me, like the winning to me is temporary. Like the character is forever. So work on that.
Sense it on the bench at 2-0 when you feel like you should be up 2-0.
I feel it. I personally myself feel it. And I got to keep going. And I got to tell the boys, let's go, let's keep going. We're doing good stuff. Let's just get the next one. Unfortunately, it didn't come. And but I like the fight in the second. The third was just, it's disappointing. But again, we give up an early goal and take 2 penalties. It's tough.
So that's a good, almost rehearsed sounding response. And I hate guessing at things, but I kind of read between the lines here a little bit. And I think that he might be talking about some specific people that aren't making the individual effort to avoid that discouragement. Because what has driven me nuts over the past little bit has been, they're not playing with confidence. They need to find their confidence again. They're a young team. There's all these excuses being said about professional athletes, individuals who take pride in their game, individuals who are ultra competitive, the 1% of the 1%. And if you can sense even a little bit that you are having some guys out there that are not giving it the 100% all the time, finding that level, avoiding frustration moments, avoiding playing into a trap game, avoiding playing into your opponent's hands, making mistakes, well, then I think that you should be called out as a weak link. And that leads us to the big news tonight. Les Canadiens ont rappelé Owen Beck, Adam Engstrom, et Jacob Fowler du Rocket de Laval. They've recalled Owen Beck, Adam Engstrom, and Jacob Fowler. So this reads like a panic moment, maybe also a statement. Yeah, we're gonna see some guys getting benched. They are going on the road. They're going to Pittsburgh. Maybe not everyone gets benched. Some of these guys are being taken along for the ride. And Fowler might just be along for the ride in terms of, Montembeau's not feeling well or what have you. But they never call up this many guys for a road trip. Xhekaj or Struble will probably be sitting down for Engstrom, I would guess. Personally, I would sit Struble. He had a bad game tonight, and that goal that he gave up to set things off, that had stink all over it for me. Owen Beck plays a boring style of hockey, but responsible. Now, I don't know if he's been doing that on the Rocket lately this season. He hasn't been killing it down there. Has he been on a mission? His plus minus doesn't even look that great. I wonder with that one, but I would swap out Veleno for Owen Beck 7 days a week and twice on Sunday. For all of that one goal that Veleno has scored so far this season and that 1 point, how many goals has that line let in? He is minus 11. He's had his time. He's been given opportunities. I'm sorry, Joe. It's time to go. Finally, my thoughts on Jacob Fowler being potentially put into an NHL hockey game in front of this defense. I hate it. I don't like it. At the same time, I think it sends a message to Jakub Dobeš and to Samuel Montembeau, who are amongst the worst goaltenders in the league presently in terms of stats. If Fowler goes out there and has a great game, they get put on check. They're currently put on check. But if Fowler goes out there and gets lit up in the NHL, that's a real bad misstep. I hate talking about confidence for professional athletes who live this game. They breathe it. They know that they're going to have 1 or 2 bad games a year or are just set up for failure. But for a goaltender, that sticks with them. So I just hope that if they do put him out there, the team does so with the understanding that they have to play strong in front of that young kid. 21 years old. Now, he's not completely alone being put into a situation like that. Pittsburgh played this kid, a 21-year-old, Sergei Marashov, played 4 games on the Pengs this season, registered 1.9 goals against average, .912 save percentage. He doesn't have the same pedigree as Jacob Fowler, but he's lighting it up in the AHL, like more so than Fowler. So I don't know, man. The worst thing that could happen is he gets lit up, and hopefully he has the mentals that he just says it's because they're playing a bad brand of defense right now. If he goes in and he's lights out, then it's a huge win. Anyway, those are my thoughts. I gotta head to bed, guys. Thank you for watching. Sorry that this isn't the video that you probably want. Well, some of that's because of the team, but I kind of did this one quickly. Not as much editing in this video, so I'm sorry about that. But I do have to go to bed, and this probably isn't the video that I want to focus the most of my effort on. So you guys know what to do. Hit the like button. It helps me out with search results, probably. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I would love to have you. And as always, I will see you down in the comments.